Well, we got some sharpening testing to figure out. And this one, the Bestech Swift that I'm starting off with here, might not be the most fair because this was definitely a return to White Mountain knives. So if this does have a fairly low score, or fairly high score, I should say, then I'm not going to hold that against this particular thing because, well, it's seems like it had a little bit of use or something like that. But because of that, I'm going to go a little bit further on here so I really clear any of those blade chips. How about if we get a little bit of light on there? And away we go. $325, yep. It's not stupendously great, but it's still kind of right around in that range. Yeah, if this is kind of the first one that you've tuned in of me doing any of the best testing sort of stuff, they do consider up to about probably 375 to be new high-end cutlery, but I always kind of appreciate seeing something closer to 200. And if it's under 200, well, that's pretty much icing on the cake, but doesn't happen in incredible amount. It requires a bit more refinement of the edge, and well, that takes time and money. So a lot of people or a lot of companies don't really end up taking the time for that. This one, oh no, I got the. Let's get that out of there. It looks like a giant beard hair. But it wasn't. Okay, we get the SixLeaf SL-21. Nice to see them using 154 cm. That's the second knife that they've done with that, and I do hope that they continue. $255. It's kind of right there in the center. That's not too bad at all. Nice and thin behind the edge. And yeah, this thing's got drop shut action right out of the box, so that's pretty good. This next one is going to be a little interesting for me to try to do it, just due to the the amount of curvature that we got going on this. This is the TwoSun TS190 or 151, just like the rum that a lot of companies stopped manufacturing, but not all of them. All right, yeah, very, very deep curve, so I got to be careful not to get anywhere around bumping that to really cause some weight differences. So here we go. Woo, 170, huh? All right, yeah, I can believe it. So that's got a nice good edge on there. It is 14C28N, so it's not going to hold that edge for absolutely forever and a day, but it's a very respectable steel. So just depends on how many things you end up trying to use on it. All right, and then we got the TS396, this nice Keanu design here. Let me actually align that correctly, and away we go. $250, also not too bad, but yeah, I mean, with the blade geometry being super nice and thin on this guy here, getting this thing to a really, really ridiculously honed edge will probably make this thing cut pretty darn good. But all right, well, that's basically what we got going on here for the sharpness testing on these guys. So I guess my next step here is to well, a lot of times I do like to take these guys apart and clean them up and put my own oil and tune the pivots and everything on them to hopefully improve some of the action and all that sort of stuff. And then, of course, I also do the reprofiling. Looks like all of these blade steels are kind of in the mid to upper ingot steels. So I basically will put a 17-degree edge on all of these guys, and yeah, we'll go from there. Alrighty, well, as always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo. Well, I might as well see how sharp these knives are. So first, we got the Kizer Cutlery's Raven series Kiritsuke chef's knife, and then I got the TwoSun 295 and the 375. So let's see what's going on with this guy in the TCO steel, which they say is fairly similar to VG10. $275, which isn't incredibly terrible. It does, yeah, it is grabbing quite a bit because the core steel is fairly thin and all that sort of stuff. So it seems like it'll be all right out of the box. I don't really feel any rolls or anything like that, so nothing too bad going on there. But still, would like to see usually a kitchen implement to be a little bit sharper out of the box. But of course, we can also fix that fairly easily. I do need to kind of figure out what angle that they actually have that sharpened to, though. It not being a full European style knife, obviously it's not going to be a 20-degree angle. I just need to find out if it's closer to 17, 15, possibly 14. I don't know. Some companies get a little overzealous when they're using a little bit fancier steel than the X50 CRMOV 15 stuff. Alrighty, let's go for the TwoSun here. 295. 300, which ain't great. It's not terrible. And it still feels decently sharp and catching on there and stuff like that. But of course, I also do reprofile and sharpen those guys up a little bit, so I can certainly improve on that. So let's go for this TS375, which as far as the build quality goes, is really, really impressing me. $285. All right. Well, it's under 300, but still not the sharpest I've gotten from TwoSun lately. But yeah, certainly they do have more than one person who ends up doing sharpening, and it seems like some of them are just a little bit better than others. Still, very, very serviceable working edge. But you know, if you wanted to pull this out of the box and then shave your face with it, probably not the knife for that particular job. But yeah, I mean, the blade stock thickness on that's super thick anyway. But alrighty, well, there we go. I will catch you after I get back from my company Christmas party holiday thing, and we'll open up some more of these guys and see how sharp they are. So until then, I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll catch you later. Well, looks like I have some knives that I want to test the sharpness on here after I just finished opening them up out of the box. How about if I go ahead and turn that light on? That still doesn't look to me all that much like it helps out all that much on the camera, but why not? I'll do it. All right, we'll start off with the Kizer Oknife Mettle. Little guy in 154 cm. Seems to be an internal design. Not attributed to Azo or any of the other designers there. $335. That's not fantastic. Let's see, since this is probably around a new video or something like that, I'll go ahead and bring out the little card here. Usually they show new high-end cutlery edges to be like 375 or something like that. Well, this is a new cutlery. But still, 335 for me, it's a bit on the weak side. It's still got a decent working edge. It's not rolled or anything like that. It's just nowhere near as refined as it probably should be. It is what it is. So let's move on. I'm just restringing this thing here. I should probably look into buying another one of these spools of test media, because I don't know how many I've done, but it's been a lot. Alrighty, we got the Petrified Fish Flavorist S. $3.15, not terribly better. This one feels like it has a little bit more bite to it. They probably stopped at a lower grit finishing belt or something like that. But still, yeah, nice working edge, but not spectacular. Next up, we got the Trivisa Gemeni, this little slip joint here in Desert Ironwood and M390. See how they fared. $300, swing and a miss, but I suppose that does make a decent amount of sense. A lot of companies, especially Chinese ones, even if they do treat a steel pretty good, a lot of the powder metallurgy stuff, M390 and S35VN and stuff like that, a lot of times they won't take enough time to do sharpening to actually get it to a decent refined edge. It'll still take that edge pretty good, but yeah, it really depends on who's sharpening, and how long they're actually taking, and the equipment they're using, and all that sort of stuff. But all right, here's this Masalong, I think MA256. This little guy in VG10 Damascus. Let's see. $350. All right, yeah, it's kind of the worst of the bunch. But still, all of them have a, like I would say, a decent working finish. These will definitely all cut, and cut fairly well. Just nowhere near as sharp as I end up preferring them. So, of course, I'm going to end up reprofiling all these edges and stuff like that. If I can with this guy, I will do 15 degrees, but a lot of times that's kind of hard to do when a knife blade is fairly short as far as this dimension here goes, because, well, this is a full flat grind, so even if you were to, on a fixed angle sharpener, clamp right up on the edge, it's just going to rock and roll on you. So I'll probably have to finish this on the Kin Onion belt stuff, which is all right. I do have a decent amount of fine abrasives and stuff like that. The other three of these guys, while all having different steels, they're all going to be kind of right in that middle point of ingot steels. We got 154 cm here. We got K110, which is basically Austrian D2, and we got VG10 here. So we'll see how those end up faring in the long run. But alrighty, as always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo. Subscribe.